All right. So welcome everybody. Feels like this summer has been kind of crazy, and we're just kind of getting everybody back into routines again after this. While everyone in our town has started going back and getting the school ready for the kids next week. So I think that's kind of probably, the topic of what Mike and I want to talk about tonight is just everyone's getting ready to get back into the swing of um, looking after themselves and getting back into habits over the summer. So we just wanted to kind of touch on that. And Mike, I'll let you just talk a little bit about our announcement that Dave gave us yesterday before we start our training.
Okay, I apologize, Cathy. I was in my office and my Wi-Fi was
Nuts.
not allowing me to join, so I just
Okay.
jumped in my truck and drove down the road. It's
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah. So
But anyway, yeah. So this this new sample program that we have here is going to greatly benefit the Americans because of course they can advertise and sell retail wherever they want, and we have to be still a little bit more careful. Um, Basically the whole idea of it, everybody, is just to get samples in people's hands, right? It's just an efficient way to get samples in people's hands. It is, for a lot of people, another business builder is a fairly big expense. So, there was talk, on a couple of Don's calls about, people joining up and getting together and sharing the costs of the business builder, sample business builder. But really, everybody, just you can give these belly to belly. If you're not putting on your tables at trade shows um, samples for sale, right? Then we're okay. If we're just belly to belly with people we know, charging them some money to cover our costs, that's fine. But just don't be advertising it. And the whole idea here is getting the optimum in people's hands, letting them have a taste, letting them feel the effects in a day or two, and then they make that purchase. So follow up and follow through is going to be one of our biggest assets here. If we're just getting these things out and we're not following up with them right away and showing them the support, it's basically all for nothing. So again, we're doing it right. We had the sample packets with all of our other products, and we were just sharing one or two, and so it's basically the same thing. And Cathy, the PFD is going to be out right away, correct?
Yeah, and I just wanted to remind everybody that we have the Valentis Global Corp Facebook group. And I added a whole bunch of people there a couple of days ago. And if I missed adding you, I apologize. But go in and find Valentis uh, Global Corp. And there's actually Valentis Corp group as well. And Dave has hired a girl that is actually a social media, kind of what I've been doing for the Facebook Take Control team. She's actually going to be managing that. And so, honest to goodness, I'm going to probably be copying a lot of what she has in there back to our Take Control team. But Chris Hupke, I don't know, maybe 6 hours ago, posted that the PDF will be coming out soon. So it isn't. So I know Carrie Lee was asking me where it was. She was trying to find it today for a printer, and the reason she couldn't find it is because we don't have it yet. So as soon as it gets there, but I encourage everyone to go join that group because they will have tons of updates and everything that we need to know. I mean, obviously, it's probably going to be duplicated in the Take Control team as well. But Valentis Global Corp is a really good Facebook group to join. And I just wanted to talk about that sample stuff a little bit too, because on our trade shows, we always have our sample containers with our trim, our immune, and our energy, and our craft of our now optimum is the one that we always sample now. And we generally that's what we're going to give people is that sample. Oh, I'm just going to make sure everybody's muted here. Just hang on. There we go. And so I always have in my back pocket, or I have had the 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 sample of with the packet and the sample and the label. I've always had some in my back pocket, and so there are special people that are going to come along that I know need that whole serving. Or at the trade show, we just said, come back tomorrow or go get a full jug of water and bring it back here. And we just scoop them a whole cup. And we did that to a security guard at the Whoop Up Days the other day. And she came back just a bouncing. And she's like, oh my God, what's in that coffee? And so just, there's lots of creative ways to share this product. We don't have to spend a ton of money making these brochures right now, but in the same breath, have some in your back pocket and have them in your bag, because there's going to be people that you need to give them to, and ultimately our goal is to get this out into the public. Like Dave said, the more people we can share this with, and like Dawn's numbers, they're going to love this product. And even that, I do like that 6-day of product. So we can do that, but not advertising it on our table. But we can share with people we know are going to be wanting that full experience, and they don't want to join until they have a 6-day pack. We don't. I wouldn't say. I don't know what I try to. It's like objections. Like, don't create objections that you don't have. I always walk into like free customer account. Let's get you going. There's a 90-day money back guarantee. But at the last resort, if somebody needs to try it for 6 days before they make that buying decision, I would use that as a last resort instead of a first resort, if that makes any sense. So that's kind of my 2 cents, Mike, on the sampling.
Well, it's basically, we all have to think about what we would want if we were to start again, and it's going back right to what would be the right thing for us. And that's how you got to think about it, and then treat people how you would want to be treated. And if you think you would require more than a couple of samples, well, then that's totally up to you. This is your business, right? So that's the beauty of what I love about this network marketing, is that I don't have a boss telling me what to do. I have people that give me all the tools, the product. I don't have to manufacture. I don't have to, go and buy a whole bunch of equipment. I get to promote something that I love, and I can do it however I want. Really, I just take the tips and all the ideas from the guys that have been doing it for so many years. So
Yeah, and I think, Mike, one thing I just wanted to say, in pulling people back a bit, is when we started Valentis 3 years ago, Ted Wilson sent us a copy of the 12 and 24 flyer, and he sent us the guidelines, and he said, be a product of the product and share your story. That's all we had. And we got to be diamonds by sharing that way. So I just wanted to pull everyone back, that remember to keep it simple. And if you spend time making this complicated, then you're wasting time when you could be sharing it with people. And so really concentrate on being a product of the product. And we all here on this screen know how passionate we are about how good we feel. So that's just remember that, So we've got the optimum flyer now too. So if you can't afford to go and get copies of our new little folder, just use what's simple, right?
yeah, one thing that I found at the trade shows was a lot of people, if you just explain to them what we have are things they do anyway. And do you guys think that you could just swap out your normal coffee and just use ours? Is that something you believe that you're able to do? And get them to answer you yes or no. And then their juice. Will you cut out all your sugar-filled juices, and could you add a trim to your day? Well, absolutely. I think I could do that, right? So we just have to fill people with yes, I can, yes, I can, yes, I can. And so many diets and programs have turned people into I can't, right? I can't do that. I can't succeed. I can't, I can't. Well, we're the I canners. We're going to turn them into I cans. So that's really what we got to do. Just turn people into I can do this. But I
Yeah.
guess we better get on with our book stuff here, Kat.
Okay. So we started a book study with you guys a few weeks ago, and then we had other things come along. But Mike and I are going into chapter 5 of the Selling Sunshine. And this chapter is all about process, which really fits into what we're just talking about and what the process is about what we do. So we are on tip 39 in our tips of how many tips altogether here? 75. So we're on tip 39. And this one is really kind of neat. It's called Create a 10-Member Experience. And what they did is they wrote down the word experience, and they gave us a word for each of the letters in the word experience. But so we'll just kind of maybe go through that, Mike, and the different, what E stands for in the word experience is everything matters. So that every single thing we do, single thing we say, the kind of what we have right at the top of our take control team is we are the examples, not the excuse. So absolutely everything that we do is an example for people, and everybody's watching us. So to me, that's a really big one, is everything matters. So
Extraordinary service is the next one. And their term is we go above and beyond, which I believe many of us or all of us do. We give exceptional follow-up. We ask people if we can help them. We leave them alone and check in with them when they want us to, and we listen with intent to people. And so extraordinary service is the X.
So the P is personable. We are welcoming. We greet each other. We we welcome our members into our take control team. In our own personal businesses, we have to be really personable, and like they say, you want your customers and your independent representatives and everybody around you to know and like and love you and trust you. So that's what P stands for: is be personable.
And E is escape. Provide an escape for people. Show them that our products can make them feel like they've never felt before. Put a smile on your face. Give you that jump in your step, that spark in your soul, and just give everyone that positive escape that they're looking for from their day.
I like what he said at the end there, Mike. It says, we are the escape artists.
Yeah.
So that, kind of put that on the top of your agenda. We are the escape artists. We're helping people escape from the stuff that's hurting them. So that was pretty cool. R stands for responsibility, or responsible. And basically, everyone that here tonight is accountable for being here. You're accountable for just being responsible for what we need to do as independent representatives, for ourselves and for our customers and everybody involved.
And I is irresistible. So what we want is to not have people just like our company. We want people to love our company, our culture, that feeling of being able to totally open up to your partner and tell them how you're feeling, and know that he's not going to start a gossip ring, that everything that you share with each member is going to be kept personal and private, and that we just basically have people say, I love this company.
And that's Dave's big one, his um, that's what he wants. He wants to
Yeah.
make this industry right again. So um, the next one is experience, and we are wanting everyone to use your knowledge to be the best, like for just have the best experience here. So just having the experience of how these products are making us feel, and and we know that we have a product line of products that are actually giving people great experiences. We are result driven that way.
And next step. So that's really, really important, is always before you're done a connection, create another connection. So when you're following up with people, say, hey, I really like checking up on you. I love to hear your results and your progress. When can we talk again? And make them feel wanted, make them feel needed. And it's really important to attract people's into your group that way.
And I always say to people too, when we're starting them, is that we don't want you just to go to your website and order these products and be on your own. So that's just another piece of that next step, is we're here to kind of like your weight loss consultants, and we're here to watch you and help you on your journey. So and then the C is connection. So we need to know our customers, and that's just part of the next step, is that don't just be the sponsor monster here and just be sponsor, 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 enroll, get more customers and leave them, because you're going to lose them as fast as you get them. So just having that personal connection with everybody. I know, like, I'm just thinking of Wendy right now. She has she shared this story in our team, 80 some year old lady. Her name's Frances. And she goes and sees her every week, right to her house in Cardston. And she's lost almost 2 pounds, and she line dances. And like, that's the kind of customer service that guaranteed she's telling some of her line dance people that this lady comes from the Crow's Nest Pass and is her new best friend, right? So just having that kind of connection with your customers is going to have long-term residual income when it comes down to the business part of holding your customers to your team. So, yeah.
And then that folds right into energy and having fun, creating a fun environment, an environment that, again, takes people into a different experience. Take people out of that daily grind. And these conventions that are coming up in September, that is like the escape, right? It's like the fun time. It's like where everyone meets, and you network. You learn from all these people that have been doing this for 30 years. You get to sit around after the conference and really pick their brain, and it's fun, and everybody sings karaoke, and just it's an amazing time, and no one has to worry about any ill feelings or what someone else is saying about someone else. It's just a really, really friendly, fun environment. So um, and as this goes on, I would really love to do something like Donnie did over in Lake of the Woods this year. He had a whole bunch of people up there and had a weekend retreat, right? And split up the year, and we can just all meet at a campground even somewhere. And that's the beauty of this, right? Is getting to know people, creating new friendships, and and it's just a really positive environment.
So that kind of wraps up the tip 39. Tip 40 is get in the trenches. So Mike just said we need to have fun and relax, but we also need to work hard. This is not net easy marketing. It's net hard, net work marketing. And we all need to work hard to basically say less to more people. And if we're not doing that, we're not building our business. And Even Ray Higdon says the least thing that he doesn't like doing in this business is prospecting. That's his, that's not everybody's favorite thing, is going and talking to strangers, but we do have to do that, and we have to get good at it. And so getting in the trenches, and this whole tip talks about getting up early, going to bed late, working 24/7 when you gotta. And so that's just part of what you got to do. If you want to be very successful, you got to do what Sandra Beaver does and get up at 2:00 in the morning to do her job, and then work the whoop up with bags under her eyes, staying late to see Mike the other day. So you just got to go the extra and do all that kind of stuff, and you'll see great rewards. So
that, it isn't for everybody.
no.
The trenches aren't for everybody. So again, this is your business, this is your time, and you choose how fast or how slow or how you want to get to the end result, right? And don't feel pressured ever. Don't feel like you're falling behind, because we're always going to be there to pick you up. And just stay focused and stay positive, and you're going to get there someday. And so I just wanted to make sure everybody knows that this isn't a drill program where you have to. But hard work is definitely recommended.
And I guess, we'll do a 90-day challenge for anybody who's interested pretty soon. But one of the things that really is important is to set goals. So you need to set some goals. And even if your goal is to talk to one new person this week, you got to at least talk to one new person if you're in network marketing. But, you have to do that. But if that's as much time as you have and you do it, then give yourself a big, huge check mark and celebrate that you did it. Right? So
one thing I want to really stress everybody is that in my own personal experience, okay, being in a company where we're isolated in a right of way in a bush for a week, 2 weeks at a time, personally, you don't grow, you don't learn, you're with the same environment, the same group. Get excited about talking to people. It really, really is exciting to get to know new people, because you don't know who the next person is that can change your life. You don't know what the next opportunity is that can change your life from the person you're talking to. So nothing will change in your life if you're not meeting new people. It has to happen. And if you're happy with the life you have right now, don't talk to anybody. So if you put it in that text, it's very important to meet new people. It really is. And go to things you love doing. If you love jogging, you love working out, go to a gym. If you love canoeing, canoe with groups of people. If you like hiking, go to the mountains and go hiking. So meet people doing what you love to do, and you're going to find other people that you love to be around. So, that's really an awesome goal for everybody on this call here right now, is start doing more of what you love doing.
yeah. And I think we forget when we join network marketing is like, oh, how do I talk to people? And like, I joined this group, and you're in your brain thinking, I want to bring up Valentis, but stop doing that. Get in your brain that you want to make a new friend. That's what you got to do. And if that new friend asks you what you're doing, well, you're going to tell them what you're doing, but don't walk. And I've done it. I'm guilty. You walk in and you're like, oh, I'm going to walk out of here and I got to leave my business card. And you're all nervous and you forget how to talk to people. So stop doing that. Just talk to people. And another thing you can do is wear those t-shirts. Just ask me about my weight loss coffee, or do you know anybody that drinks coffee? Get some curiosity on a t-shirt, and their chances are pretty good someone's going to ask you. That happened to Marlene. She just kind of got that idea that, yeah, maybe she should do that more than just at trade shows. And that's the next tip, actually, is choose right over uncomfortable. It's like, it's not comfortable at first. because people are staring at you, and you're like, yeah, are you going to ask me what that, like they're looking at your t-shirt. So that can be uncomfortable, but someone's going to ask you, right? So you just, that's the next tip, is choose right over uncomfortable.
And and it takes being passionate about what you're doing to feel comfortable, to put on that t-shirt and walk around people that you've walked around hundreds of times. But when you think about it, you guys, it's no different than the implement guy wearing a case shirt, or the gym person wearing Orange Theory on his shirt, or you know what I'm saying? Or, for Neil, for his company, having his logo on his hat. We're representing something that we're passionate about, so why should we not feel comfortable? And so get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and then you'll soon become comfortable. If that makes sense.
And he had this little, Mike, you talk about the pluses and minuses all the time. He gave an example about a piece of paper, and what he does with his staff is he starts out with a full piece of paper at the beginning of the day. And every time you make a minus, or a small, like, it doesn't have to be big decisions, but if you make a little tiny decision that's a minus, you have to tear a piece of your paper off. And then at the end of the day, you see how big your piece of paper is. And it's a really big visual of those small, teeny little decisions can either get you somewhere, or it can actually hurt your business. So that was a really good example, I thought. So
Yeah, and another thing he promotes is people making decisions, and it is truly about learning from mistakes. So you have to make the wrong decisions sometimes to learn what the right ones are. And that's the same as when you're talking to people and prospecting. We have millions and millions and millions of people to practice on, and we are gonna screw it up. We're gonna feel like, oh no, why did I say that? But if you say it and you've learned something from it, you won't do it again, and you're just gonna get better and better and better. And that one person out of the 100 you talk to could be the one that changes your life. So um, I forget who says it, but sometimes you need 100 no's to get that one right that changes your life. And if you're not willing to go through the 100 no's, you'll never change your life. So it's a really crazy industry we're in, but we just got to learn how to do it right.
so I'm looking at our tips, and we're not going to get through this whole chapter tonight. We knew that. We were like, oh yeah, if we have time, we'll do this. We won't have time. But this last tip is kind of what we're doing right now. And I just applaud everybody because everybody is doing this tip, and it's developing your team. And part of it is having book studies and personal growth. And we, as leaders, we have to continually be learning. And so that is tip number 42, is develop your team. So I just wanted to give a shout out that everybody is doing that. Everybody's reading and stepping up and helping us with these trainings. So I just want to applaud that tip. As we went through this, Mike and I, we were like, yeah, we do that. We're checking, and pretty proud of everybody that we're on the right track. So
Yeah. What I'd really like to commend everybody that always shows up. Like, you guys are always here, and a lot of times we just duplicate. Some of you are on other Zoom calls in the same evening, and you're on them on Sunday, and you're on them on Saturday, and it's all duplicating stuff, a lot of it, but you're still present. You're still coming, and you're still willing to learn that one little nugget that maybe wasn't said before. And maybe it's the 17th time that you've heard it, and this time it was just that click. And so I want to commend everyone that keeps coming to the Zooms and that keeps learning, and jumps from leader to leader to leader, just to try and learn that new nugget. And we have so many people in Valentis with so much value that I recommend you guys jump and go look them up and message them and just ask to learn. And it's for me, I enjoy the challenge of having people push me out of my comfort zone. That's the only way you learn. And if Ted Wilson didn't push me out of my comfort zone, I'd still be a pole climber in the middle of a bush, and nothing would have changed in my life, and I wouldn't have met all these people, and my health would have been bad. And so that was that one conversation that I had that was out of the bush. It was in a hockey rink, and I noticed this crazy guy on a computer on a laptop sitting on a bench watching his kid. And I just said, "Hey, what are you up to?" And it turned into a life-changing decision. So when you see goofy people doing things that maybe you wouldn't do, ask them what they're doing.
What are they doing? Yeah.
Right? So
yeah, I think to end that, Mike, we should read that last quote. Do you want to read that with Andrew Carnegie? Teamwork.
On develop your team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teamwork is the ability to work together toward a common vision, the ability to direct individual accomplishments toward organizational objectives. It is the fuel that allows common people to attain uncommon results.
Yeah.
So we're all here to push each other and get uncomfortable with each other, and in the end, we're all going to be at the top together.
Okay. So with that, everybody, keep it simple this week. Say less to more people, and we will see you next Monday. Have a good night.